At dusk on October 25th, 2003, the largest fire in California's history was started. Fueled by hot Santa Ana winds and dry brush, it burned from Ramona to Cuyamaca, Julian to Escondido, Scripps Ranch to Lakeside, and Mount Laguna to El Cajon. It took 9 days to contain the blaze that left 15 people dead and destroyed more than 2,200 homes and 2,800 buildings. Here to talk about her experience escaping this fire is Sandra Younger, author of the new book, The Fire Outside My Window. A survivor tells the true story of California's epic Cedar Fire. And CAL FIRE Deputy Chief of Operations, Kelly Zombro. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Sandra, let's start with you. When did you know you had to evacuate from this fire in Wildcat Canyon where your home was, and how'd you do it?
We knew we had to evacuate when we woke up about 3 o'clock in the morning and saw flames outside our window. We lived on the mountainside in the canyon, and directly across from us on the other side, on the other mountain, there was a huge swath of flames. So we realized we had to get out. We had very little time. We just grabbed whatever we could lay our hands on, mostly just pictures off dressers, walls. I threw them in a laundry basket. We grabbed our dogs, we grabbed some of my husband's negatives, and we ran for our lives.
And you had to make it down through a lot of thick smoke at that point, right? In the middle of the night, and that had to be very difficult, I assume.
It was difficult because the smoke was as thick as if you looked outside a plane in a thunderhead, and we literally couldn't see where we were going. I was driving and I couldn't find the road, and thank goodness a bobcat jumped right to my headlight at the moment that I needed him and dashed off into the smoke, and somehow I knew to follow him, and that he kept us on the road.
Got you out of there, even though you did lose your home. Now, Chief Zombro, you were on duty at the San Diego Country Estates near Ramona when this happened. What sort of difficulties were you having in evacuating people?
It was the sheer magnitude of the fire. It was moving extremely fast in a very large area. The sheriff's deputies were heavily engaged in the country estates and parts of Barona Mesa and so on. But this fire is in the middle of the night. It's getting exponentially larger quickly, and the sheriff's department had to bring in resources from all over the county. Police departments, federal agencies, and so on to help with that.
And there was no 911. There was no way to get the word out, correct? You tried to bring a helicopter in?
Yes, there was no reverse 911 at that time, and we did have a helicopter fly. We asked them to fly in advance, get on the loudspeaker, make sure people wake up. Unfortunately, after banging their heads together inside the helicopter, because of the winds crashing against them, they decided that they were going to get themselves killed and landed the helicopter.
And had to withdraw. No, Sandra, in your book, you interviewed more than 100 people for this. Give us an example of one of the stories of people, how they were coping with this.
There are so many dramatic stories, even more dramatic than ours, driving down a mountain through smoke and flame. Some of our neighbors had to jump into their swimming pools. They couldn't get out through the fire. They had to turn around, go home, jump into their pools, watch their house burn down right there. And they were even in the pool with snakes and rabbits and rats because we were all reduced to survival mode.
What do you want readers to get from these stories?
I wrote the book as a tribute to the people we lost, as an official documentation of this historic event. So I hope that people understand why these things happened. I hope we can lay to rest some of the misconceptions that have persisted since the fire. And I hope people realize that the story is really about the triumph of the human spirit, even in the face of adversity.
Okay, and some things have been learned, Chief Zombro. What have we learned? What's changed? What are we doing today to fight a fire like this?
Well, a lot of things have changed in the county, and I want to say Sandra's book captures what had happened so that 30 years from now somebody can read and realize we also have a history repeating itself in this county, and this is not the first time we've been through one of these. Fortunately, though, since that fire, we've got the San Diego County Fire Authority, thanks to the County Board of Supervisors. We've got resources and support that is happening throughout the backcountry in those areas. The Sheriff's Department has 2 helicopters. The City of San Diego has 2 helicopters. None of that existed in 2003. The reverse 911, it's in place now. The 211, the San Diego's 211 program, so you can make phone calls to get information, all kinds of different things. And of course, 10 years into the technological world, there's Twitters and all those other things that can happen now that make it real-time information.
Well, we have a lot more and your tips on what we can do to protect our homes from wildfire, but we are out of time. Sandra Younger and CAL FIRE Deputy Chief Kelly Zombro, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.